Hello students. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, that is figures of speech. Figure of speech is a figurative language. It's a poetic device used for vivid effect. Now let's see types of figures of speech. Here we are going to discuss few types. The first one, alliteration, repetition, simile, metaphor, personification and epigram. So now we are going to discuss all these figures of speech. So let's discuss first alliteration. In alliteration, sound is repeated in the sentence for poetic effect. Let's see the examples. Pitter patter falls the rain. Here in this sentence, sound P is repeated for poetic effect. Second example, ship should sleep in a shade. Here in this example, sound SH, that is sh sound, is repeated for poetic effect. So here in these two sentences, the figure of speech is alliteration. The next one is repetition. In repetition figure of speech, word is repeated in the sentence for poetic effect. See the examples. Let it snow, oh, awful day. Yeah, in this sentence, let it snow, let it snow. These words are repeated for poetic effect. So the figure of speech is repetition. In the second sentence, to believe is to know that. Here, word to is repeated for poetic effect. Third one is simile. In simile figure of speech, direct comparison is done between two things. Here you remember words like as, like, snow, so. So if these words are there in the sentence, then the figure of speech will be simile. So I'll repeat, the words are as, like and so. See the example. The fountain is as white as snow. So here the comparison is done between fountain and snow. And for comparing fountain and snow, the word as is used. So here the figure of speech is simile. The next one is metaphor. In metaphor figure of speech also, we are supposed to do comparison. But this comparison is indirect comparison. So indirect comparison is done between two things. See the example. Camel is a ship in desert. So comparison is done between camel and ship. The next figure of speech is personification. In personification figure of speech, human characteristics given to something which is non-human. See the example. To believe is to see angels dancing among the clouds. Here dancing is a quality of human being. It's a characteristics of human being. But here in this sentence, this dancing characteristic is given to angel, which is non-human. So figure of speech is personification. The last one in this list is epigram. In epigram figure of speech, the sentence states a general truth and can be used as saying or quotes. So here we can see the example. To believe is to know that every day is a new beginning. Every day is a new beginning is a general truth, or it's a saying. So for saying and quotes, the figure of speech is epigram. So I hope you have understood all figure of speech which we have discussed today. Now let's recall with few examples. Name and explain the figures of speech in the following sentences. Life is like a gift. Here, comparison is done between life and gift. And for comparing these two things, the word like is used. So student, you remember what figure of speech is this? Yes, it is simile. Soldiers are lions. Comparison is done between soldier and lions, but the comparison is indirect comparison. So the figure of speech is yes, it is metaphor. The sun is smiling. Smiling is human characteristic which is given to sun. So figure of speech is personification. The angels are dancing in the sky. Here dancing is human characteristic given to angel. So figure of speech is personification. We cannot see the hands of death. Hands or having hands is the characteristic of human being which is given to something non-human, and that is death. So figure of speech is personification. Girls will come, boys will come, all will come to play. In this sentence, will come is repeated for poetic effect. So figure of speech is repetition. If we don't end the war, war will end us. In this sentence, few words are repeated. Can you see which words are these which are repeated? Yes, the words war, the are repeated for poetic effect. So, figure of speech is yes, you can guess and you can tell what figure of speech is this. It is repetition. It is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. This is general truth, or we can say it's a saying. So, figure of speech is epigram. The moon played hide and seek with the clouds. Playing hide and seek is characteristic of human being which is given to the moon. So, the figure of speech is personification. The moon smiled at the stars in the night. Smiling is the characteristic of human being which is given to the moon. So the figure of speech is personification. I hope you understood all figure of speech which we have discussed today with all these examples. So write down all these examples and even write explanation. Thank you.